Silver holders, prepare now because things are looking extremely bullish over the last few weeks. You guys can see right here, this price is moving up. It's getting ready to go back to big time highs. And in today's video, we're also going to be talking about copper. I want to share a crazy video with you in today's video because my personal FOMO levels, they're getting high. Even though I've got exposure to copper, this is some crazy stuff is actually happening. People really need to understand what's going to happen with copper in the future. Even though I am feeling a lot of FOMO for buying more right now, I'll give you guys an update on that. So it's a very important metal to have on the horizon. And then we're also going to talk about the Iran conflict, the latest on that, what to expect, oil prices, gold prices as well. So we'll talk both sides of the aisle, US and Iran. So you guys have the latest intel. And guys, let's get straight into this video. So first of all, guys, prices of metals going up. Let's celebrate right here because we are turning a little bit of a corner because look, if you've been a subscriber of this channel, it's been a little bit rough, right? The last couple of months, it's been a little bit rough, and it's all kind of paired in with the Iran conflict. But you can see right here, there was a big, take profit on silver in the short term, dumped all the way down to a low of 60 bucks. But have a look, it's $26 higher. It's sitting at $86, and it's looking to potentially break this level, and then it's going to be looking at about $90 resistance. And then after that, guess what? It's going to potentially go back to another all-time high if a lot of things go well. So I would say, look at the moment, silver holders, guys, prepare now, get ready. This is looking good. And it's a fantastic metal, I think, anyway, to have some exposure to. I've already got a huge bag of silver. But that is something that is good news, and we'll talk more about the Iran conflict later in the video. But if we get a good outcome out of that, silver could even go higher than where it is right now. Now, let's get straight into the copper business because guess what, guys? This is pumping. And remember, I have been mentioning this to you in quite a few videos for a long period of time now. Look at this, all-time high on copper. Nearly, pretty much an all-time high, $6.50. It's just short, right? Now, why are people piling into copper? Is this a very good, long-term metal to have exposure to? Guys, have a look at this video. Now, just focus in and listen in to what this person is going to say, because if this is all real, we're going to see some crazy things happen for copper. So let's play this, then I'll give you guys my take on it as well. But listen in carefully. This is going to be crazy.
Let me show you how bad this problem is. In human history, if we go back to Mohenjo-Daro, we have mined 700 million metric tons of copper. So if we put that in a big cube, you see the Eiffel Tower for scale. It's about 430 meters by 430 meters. Approximately 80% of all the copper we've ever mined is still in human possession. Now, if you want to get that back, no problem. We can recycle that. All we have to do is tear down every building in the United States, every building in Europe, every building in Japan and all of China, and we can get back about 80% of that 700 million tons, but we'll be living and freezing in the dark. These lights are on here because the copper that's embedded in this building. We can tear down this university and get the copper back. Yeah, we can recycle it. How much are we using? We're consuming 30 million tons of copper a year, only 4 million tons of which is recycled. That means to maintain 3% GDP growth, now listen carefully, with no electrification, this is with burning oil and gas. To maintain global 3% GDP growth, we have to mine the same amount of copper in the next 18 years as we mined in the last 10,000 years. In the next 18 years, I've got to mine the same amount of copper as we mined in the last 10,000 years without electrification, without data centers, without solar and wind and the greening of the world economy. You people have no idea whatsoever what we're facing.
So there we go. That's a crazy clip, and this is what we're facing with copper. So you guys know on this channel that we talk about long-term holds, long-term assets, and copper. Look, the copper supply might be running out. It might be getting harder and harder and harder to get copper. And guess what? At the same time, as that supply is harder to extract copper from, the demand keeps going up because there's AI data centers. There's all this AI crazy stuff getting built. And AI, look, I think AI's obviously got a huge amount of potential. But guess what? You need the physical stuff to build AI. You need the copper. So, we might be looking at $7 copper, $8 copper, $10 copper. And, guys, comment down below if you have any copper in your portfolio. Because wow, it is looking pretty exciting right now. So watch out for this, guys, as a long-term kind of metal in your portfolio. And if we have a look right here, guys, gold is moving back up as well. So $4,700. It's potentially looking to, challenge 4,800 once again. And once we get through 4,800, of course, there's a bit of resistance right here. We're going to be looking at we might blow past the $5,000 level, and then it's going to be, we'll be looking at all-time highs again for gold long-term right there. So I think gold's looking incredibly strong as well. Also, at the same time, we know the US government is printing out a huge amount of money, US national debt, 39 trillion, which is going to play a great role, a great catalyst for the gold price over the long term as well. So remember, infinite mint function US national debt that's going to debase this currency to the moon. And this is why metals in particular, long term, there's a finite supply of these. There's not an unlimited supply of metals. And this is the essential stuff for the economy. So watch out for gold, copper, silver. There's also other great metals in there as well. And let's talk about the oil price as well, because the oil market is not sure what to do. And the reason it's not sure what to do is because it's the never-ending story of the Middle East right now. So it's not over just yet, even though it did look like we were basically going to get an exit out. It doesn't seem to be the case. Trump seems to be dragging this out into a never-ending, grind potentially. And I'll bring you some of that news soon. But you can see right here, oil is shooting back up. It did capitulate down to about $94 for Brent. And it was actually down at a low of $84 a couple of weeks ago. But it is kind of shooting back up. It's kind of getting a little bit higher, right? So we're not out of the woods with the Iran conflict. And if we have a look right here, what is happening? So Trump is, look, it is what it is. And sometimes I just get tired reporting on this because it's so much flip-flopping. It's just he's back on. He's back on the war train, before it was over. And to be honest, it's so fatiguing just to read this stuff out some days. So Project Freedom is a US military operation, and Trump says he's considering renewing Project Freedom. So it's going to put me to sleep right here. And so it might be back on. There's a potential chance he's going to start firing again against Iran. And it is literally the never-ending story. But also at the same time, we have some more kind of bad news with UAE and Iran fighting each other. There are strikes happening between these nations. And it's not looking good. And one thing we do know with the Iranians, and Trump is actually saying the negotiations are on massive life support at the moment, is the Iranians are very hardline with, their principles, right? So they're very much like, this is our line in the sand. We're not gonna fold. And this guy right here has come out with this fresh tweet, which came out moments ago, who is an official Iranian politician. And he says right here, there is no alternative but to accept the rights of the Iranian people as laid out in the 14-point proposal. Any other approach will be completely inconclusive, nothing but one failure after another. The longer they drag their feet, the more American taxpayers will pay for it. And then he goes on to say, our armed forces are ready to deliver a well-deserved response to any aggression. Mistaken strategy and mistaken decisions will always lead to mistaken results. The whole world has already figured this out. We are prepared for all options. They will be surprised. So we are not seeing any type of backing down from the Iranians. We have seen, potential plans getting put forward to Trump that they are saying, they want to destroy all of Iran's energy facilities. That's the Trump card they're kind of talking about in the background, just to keep you guys in the aware. Whether Trump does that or not, we're not exactly sure right now, but it is highly volatile. And as a result of that, look, the oil price is just kind of bouncing around. But one consistent factor that I do think people should consider is, look, there's always going to be this kind of money printing happening in the background that flows into stocks. Typically, it has flown into metals as well. Stocks are a lot more, I'd consider high risk, right? Because some of the valuations, the PE ratios, it's pretty high stuff. It's very speculative. Whereas, you go more into the fundamentals of, say, gold, silver, and copper. You guys know it's pretty basic stuff. You need a lot of these materials to actually build anything. You can't really build an economy, without copper and silver and gold. It's a pretty solid hedge against money printing. And if we have a look right here, look, some more big things are on the horizon. And also there is actually an ongoing civil conflict in the right wing of US politics as well. So if you guys are interested in my take on that, because there's lots of accusations of feds getting posted around between key players in the right wing of the US politics, I could give you guys my opinion on that in the future if you're interested. But if you're not, we can just focus in on gold, silver, copper as well. But let me know in the comment section below if you're following in on any of that news. But it's pretty important stuff, because remember, with politics, it's like, who is captaining the boat? Who is, potentially avoiding the iceberg, or who is going to drive us into the iceberg, especially the US, because the US is probably the most important country at the moment with the amount of influence and military power and, financial power it has. So it's very important to understand where that ship actually goes. But there's a lot of infighting happening currently within the right wing of US politics right now. The civil war, bit of a civil conflict. But guys, that is a massive update for today. If you guys enjoyed it, got value out of the video, like it. It's a signal you're watching and you appreciate the updates. And we'll have more coming up in the future. If you want to get the next one, guys, subscribe. It's free. We don't even have 1,000 subs yet. No ads on the videos. I make no money from these videos at the moment. It would be nice for YouTube to one day get this channel up and running. But until then, look, we'll keep putting out the content, and hopefully you guys get value out of it, guys. But I appreciate you watching. Go have a great day. I will see you in the next one.